And even if they're not here, you can share this cool tool with everyone else. So let me, do you guys all have the SeeSaw app on your phone downloaded?
Do I do the class or the parent?
No.
You'll do the
The
class.
learning journal?
That's what I did. I did the learning.
Like that?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like that. Yep. Even if you don't have it, you can still follow along. So once you have that class, I've never been on the other side of this. I've just been on the teacher side, so I kind of wanted to experiment. You can scan this QR code from the SeeSaw app. So if you just downloaded the SeeSaw app, see if you can scan this. I don't know because I've never been on the other side of it.
I have 21 seconds.
All right, well. While we're waiting for the QR code, or while you're waiting for this to download, I did throw in a little blurb here. Oh, you guys didn't get the double-sided one. You must. Does someone have a one with the out of back?
I have a single-sided one.
Thank you.
So what SeeSaw is, it's a really kid-friendly, easy-to-use online portfolio that the kids can use it, and then the kids can also you can use it as a teacher to communicate with parents, and parents can communicate to you. So it's kind of like Remind if you use Remind, but now you can upload assignments, you can upload videos, you can upload pictures, you can send links to things. You can do, I tried to do PowerPoint. You might be able to. I couldn't figure out how to do PowerPoint, but you might even be able to do PowerPoint presentations too to hook it up. So I do want to throw this out there. You have a class QR code, and you need to post the QR code around the room. Here is mine that we use for my class. And you can put it around the room for students to scan on one of the tablets that you all have in your classroom, like your classroom sets of tablets that you all have, right? You all have that, right?
We all have those, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely have those.
Yeah, okay. Just throwing that out there. That's my little plug that we don't have those. It'd be helpful to have those.
What do you need?
Tablets.
I'll work on it.
Cool, thanks.
That was easy.
So parents can see these kids, the kids' items and their stuff that they're working on right away. So can you guys scan that?
I'm working on it. There we go.
Did you guys?
I'm a teacher.
You can do it as a. Oh shoot! I forgot to do something. That's why it's not gonna work. Woohoo! There's a step that I skipped. So now you have that on your phone. It's probably not going to work because I gave each of you a name and you were supposed to grab a sheet of paper, and today was really hectic, so I failed.
Okay.
So real quick, the photo. We'll talk about the photo first. So here's an example of how you can use SeeSaw as a photo to communicate back and forth with parents. Last night I did my homework and I was doing doubles and I got some wrong. So what they can do is you can take a picture of it and you can say, here mom and dad, can you please correct this at home? They can draw on it, and that way you don't have to worry about them losing the paper because they're just doing it on here, and you have that formative assessment as well.
Wait, that 2 and that 14 were drawn on the SeeSaw app or on the paper?
On the SeeSaw app.
By the parents?
I did that. Parents can draw on this. They can draw on it at home if they have the app. So that way you can send home missed work, or you could take a picture of it rather at school, and they can correct it at home.
But they'll be probably using their phone, right?
Yeah, or a tablet.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be a phone.
Do we sign in on just where it says sign in or sign in with
Sign in with Google.
You'd sign in with Google, I guess. I don't know what I don't remember.
Because then I'll sign in with your.
So
Oh,
you
I
can
see.
also.
So on here, there's 2 apps here: SeeSaw Parent Access. So if I'm the parent of a child in your room,
Yes.
I do that.
Yes. So they'll get to draw on the C side. I don't have the parent access, so I couldn't do both sides of that. Like I said, I was supposed to print out the codes and give them to you, but I failed at that today. So what's really cool about it is you can also say, I can also set up a recording that says this. You can do it. I believe in you. A little encouragement for when they make mistakes. You can provide them with encouragement on how to do better. So that's cool. And you can also say that they do a project in school and they got a 100%, they could take a picture next to it and they can say, hey mom and dad, I'm really proud, I did really well. And boom, you can put those into folders and you can keep that as formative assessment for you. And the plus side is you don't have to grade it right away. You don't have to check to see how they're doing. You could go home that night, see it on SeeSaw, and then you can put those grades in from there. But it's instantaneous feedback when you do grade it. Parents get that notification immediately. So, a couple ways I said you could use the photo is you could take a picture for your work that you put up outside on the bulletin boards that are not going to go home right away. And kids work extra hard to put stuff on SeeSaw. They're like, oh, Mrs. Schaaf, I worked really hard on this. My handwriting is great. Can I take a picture of it? And I say, yeah, absolutely. So that way mom can see it right away. And half the time moms are like, oh my God, this is awesome. I just love this. So you got that going for you. You can also, we did for our party, we started like a class party scrapbook for our Halloween party. You could also take pictures. I know Sonia did a fort for a paw party. You could take a picture of a fort and you can put it on SeeSaw so your parents can see what the kids are doing inside the classroom. And then, of course, your students can take pictures of completed work, and then you can provide feedback to them at home. And then I left a blank space. I don't know if you guys have any ideas as to how you guys can use the photo part of SeeSaw in your classroom. Any ideas?
I mean, I'm thinking for like speech and language, I could totally use this for like showing parents. It's always hard to talk about cues or strategies that work to fix their speech. So, like using the video or the picture.
Right.
I could do that for that.
Yes, absolutely.
So could she have somebody video her working with that kiddo?
Yeah, you could do
And
that.
then mom and dad know her vocabulary she used.
How
So they
much
could-
video can you upload?
You can upload 5 minutes worth of video. We'll get to video in a second. But you can sign up to be a co-teacher with somebody. So I think I can link my account to Mandy's account, and then she can upload her speech students, and then the parents will still it'll be the same feed that the parents will see, but it's just one less account they have to keep track of.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
So that's why I think this app is also really cool, because think about the communication between me and you that we can use, and even between title teachers that we can use to make sure that we're all on the same page with everything. Any other ideas for photo? All right, so you also have a video side of things. See, those are the names. I came up with cute names and everything, and you're supposed to have a QR code right in front of you that you could have used, but that's neither here nor there. So here's a video.
I think I would play that role great.
So I recorded this last night. So
okay, so a couple ways you can use this tool. You can use it as formative assessment. You can have the students get into pairs and retell stories, and what they can do is they can
just
upload
an
their
example.
videos to SeeSaw and then use them later
I
that
look
night.
scary. I'm
Sorry.
We're looking up your nose.
No boogers. I checked.
Tilt.
I was on my. It was on.
Doesn't matter. Tilt it up.
Listen. While you're teaching, make sure you're doing it like you could have a video with it, and you can provide them feedback later on later. Instant home assessment, instant feedback, pretty cool. Another way you can use this tool is to send a video message to your parents. Oh my gosh, Michelle did great today. You should be very proud. Another way you can use it is to teach lessons so that parents know what your
Just like
kids
what you were
are doing
talking.
in the classroom. A lot of times they come home with homework and they have no idea how to help their child. So what you can do is record, for example, a worksheet, and you can show them an example of how to go over that worksheet and how to finish the rest of it. You could also just brag on your kids, maybe Valtron in first grade. So what I would do is I would videotape the kiddo reading Valtron in front of their parents, and they love that. You can just give instant updates to parents, and they love that as well. So those are just a couple of ideas. You can use this tool to help enhance your experience in the classroom. Do you have any other ideas that we can brainstorm? Well, let's talk it out.
There we go. That was.
Is that what you were doing whenever I was pushing in here with those kiddos? And you were like holding up your phone?
Yeah. So that way they got to see the kids when we had Volleytown up here. They got to see the kids going around Volleytown, and they had to make sure, like, okay, this is the right way to do it at home with your hand underneath your mouth, your chin dropping, and then the parents, I would post it, and the parents would like right away say, oh my gosh, I love this, that's so cool. So they're actually seeing how I'm teaching things in the classroom, and that keeps the consistency the same between school and home, which is a pretty cool thought if you think about it. So you can also do read alouds. You can present a read aloud and have them discuss it at home with a parent and then bring that back to you. Or they can upload their thoughts about it onto SeeSaw so you can see it later. It's a two-way street, which is pretty cool. You can communicate them, not that you would want to, as much, I'm sure some other people would. But you can communicate that with them while you're at home and in bed, if you prefer. I don't know. Do you have any other ideas for how to use it as a video?
Could you make it like a homework assignment? So like,
Mm-hmm.
go read the story, or that way they can videotape it doing that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So they can upload up to 5 minutes of video as well?
I'm pretty sure. Like I said, I don't have the parent side of things, so I'm not sure what they see. But I think what we can do in the classroom, I think they can do at home as well.
Cool.
Can you send your newsletter out through it?
Yeah, there's actually a blog that you can do. I don't have the blog set up, but there's actually a way to, if you click on this up here in the corner, that's actually can link to the blog. So you can absolutely send your newsletter home. And I know I just send home class updates. Like, so if you're having a paw party, I mean, you could use Remind, but I send home videos saying, hey guys, we're going to have a paw party tomorrow. And I mean, I have most of my class on. I have 12 kiddos out of my 17 on it. So I just make sure
How is this different from Remind?
sorry. Well, Remind, you don't have the video, you don't have the links. The kids aren't able to use Remind. It's just specifically a tool to communicate between parents and teachers.
So it's
Whereas,
one-way communication with Remind?
you can set up two-way
Oh, okay.
or one-way. It's just preference. But this way, the kids can actually do it. The kids can take ownership of it. Like if I open the app on my phone, because we don't have iPads, but if I open the app on my phone and open SeeSaw, they can go scan the code and then take a picture of their work.
So scanning the code gets them into like your classroom.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So like, let's say you had 5 iPads in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it could be a center or something, and kids could go scan the code, and then the assignment might be to take a picture of your work,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that would go right to their parents.
Absolutely. Or even if you're doing it independent work and you're working on writing, you could say, okay, when you're done, I want you to upload this to SeeSaw. So they would just come grab a tablet, scan it, and then take a picture of their work and it'll upload it.
And what do the parents get a notification that something's been sent to them? I guess
Mhm.
it's a ding, something.
Right away, and they can like it or love it or whatever, and they can comment on it. And also, you can set it up to where kids can also provide feedback for other kids. And when you take a picture, you can upload it so that everyone sees it. So we did an activity. Like I try to have their faces covered still because it's still purpose. But we would take a picture of the activity. If it was a whole class activity, then I could upload it for everyone. But if it was just an individual kiddo, then I would upload it to that specific kiddo's
Okay, so there's like a
portfolio.
whole class feed, and then there's like each individual
Mhm.
feeds. Okay.
So like you could send a video of yourself explaining the homework to everyone,
Yes.
or you could send a message just to one parent.
Yes. Or you can send a message to a few parents.
And the parents don't see the other kids' names on there, or like when they see, I'm just thinking about like my speech and language class, the caseload is different than a class list,
Right.
you know?
I don't believe if it says everyone, they just get to see the picture. They don't necessarily. They don't know who else got it, except for if I say like specifically, oh, Kaden did a great job today, then obviously she's probably gonna think that. But if you were to use it as a whole group, and I think it's more maybe beneficial for like say third grade where they are scrolling through their feed and they see that so and so did really well on this writing assignment, they could say, oh my gosh, you did a great job using plural nouns or whatever. So that way they can provide that feedback for their friends as well. You can have that option or you can turn it off. I right now have it turned off, but I think it's also a really cool tool that you could use just so that they can encourage each other.
So how did you introduce it to your parents? Did you tell them about the app?
Yes, I explained it at open house, and there is the letter with the QR code to go home on it. So what you'll do is you'll type in your class list, and then each child will get an individual QR code, and their parent will either scan that, or there's directions if they don't have a smartphone. There are directions to log on to like the SeeSaw website, and they can log on and then download, or like just go through the website to upload. So with some parents, yes, they get it instantaneously if they have a smartphone, but with others, they have to go on and log on to their SeeSaw website. Whenever.
Would you say that most of them use their phone?
Most of them do use their phone because I can tell because it'll say I uploaded an item and I'll get likes right away.
Yeah.
So you can tell who uses it right away versus who doesn't.
What kind of feedback have you gotten from parents?
Oh, I've heard that they've just really liked to see the communication between school and home in that regard, and that they can kind of stay on top of what we're doing in the classroom. Overall, it's really positive because what we're doing, they see right away, and that way they know about it before their kid comes home, and they can like surprise them and say, "Oh my gosh, I saw you did so well on that. Whoops. I saw you did so well on this writing assignment today. You should be really proud of yourself." And the kids, you should see the excitement on the kids' face when you're like, "Let's upload this to SeeSaw so mom and dad can see it."
I was in here pushing in with other kids, like they were all super excited to go and do Valetown because they were like, because you presented it as like, who thinks they can get to Valetown and send a video to mom and dad? They were all like, like I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like they were all like competing to get up there.
Right.
It was really
It's like
cool to
who
see
to
them.
get in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
It is, absolutely. And you can upload videos, which is even cooler. So this is the note portion. I don't know if it's going in order, but actually link is next. The notes are on the back. So what you could use the notes for, kids, like I said, can send encouraging notes to one another. And even if there wasn't the class-to-class feed, I believe, since I haven't tried this, I believe so-and-so can still type a note and send it to another kiddo. You have to be cautious of that. I don't think at this age, just so there's no hanky-panky going on the online.
We have love notes in real life, we don't need love notes online.
Right. You can also send a note about the progress on how they're doing, as opposed to, okay, make sure your mom receives this note. You can take a picture of a think sheet, be like, look, that's a picture, rather. But you can also say that online on the note as well. And then, of course, if the kid is absent, you can send them well wishes. Any other ideas for notes? Just while we're here to discuss, have any ideas? Moving on? Okay. Oh, so that is an example of me writing a note saying, okay, for homework tonight, here's what I want you to do, and then they can do it online for homework and upload it. And then they can also draw pictures. Okay, so you read a story about pandas and penguins. I want you to draw a picture about a penguin, what it likes to do, for instance. I know that's a lame example, I'm sorry, but just to give you an idea.
From the video to the notebook.
Say what?
How do you change the tools?
Oh, I'll show you that in a little bit, yeah. And then, of course, you can also leave that positive feedback right away as well. So here is the link that you guys can use. And you can also hook your voice up to it to give the assignment, or you can type it in, right here. So I did two different things that hooks up to a computer, or hooks up to a website. And one of them I used my voice, although I don't know which one I did that to. I guess I didn't do that. I must have erased that on accident. So you can provide them with a link to use to send home for homework, or you can even in your class, okay, in a center, I want you guys to explore cheetahs today, and then this group, and you can set it up. I actually did that with my group. Do you see how this one just says Charlie Brown, Angelica, and 3 more? So this group is specifically in charge of working on polar bears. This group was specifically in charge with working on penguins. And so what they can do then is take those links, explore them in the classroom, and then you could do a compare and contrast with them later on. So that's another cool way that you could use that. And I think I said for links, you could share links with them to research at school. And then you can also link like cool YouTube videos, encouraging YouTube videos, or videos about the first Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's coming up, okay? Send it home, do it in school.
Is it ed portal?
I have no idea. I'm sure you could.
There's another like thing where you can like put your voice into YouTube videos.
Yeah,
Like,
I used to do that with my middle schoolers. So you can take like a video off of YouTube and then you can stop it wherever you want. You can
Or,
put
like,
your voice in there and ask
questions.
a question. They answer the question, and you can set it so they have to get it right before it goes on, or it can be, essay question.
Mhm.
I think you can probably just insert that link in there, because when you finish a puzzle video, it gives you a link
Yeah,
for
you
a new
could.
video.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you can do links. And then I know we haven't done this, but when I saw this presented, you can have them go through slides. So I guess there is some way to do a PowerPoint. I just couldn't figure it out. But you could have them record and do the presentation over slides as they're going over it. So, I mean, think about what this does for us in terms of grading and formative assessment. Like, we have our formative assessment right there. Parents can figure out what they're struggling with, what they're doing well. It's all right there. And the cool part about it is the kids can manipulate it. I mean, all I have is this. So right now I do have to walk around and I am kind of in control. But think about if we had those iPads, what would happen? They could just do it by themselves. Easy peasy. And then, the last one I didn't have one up there, but it was you can upload files as well. And that was with the PowerPoint. You could do that. I just couldn't figure out how. And then you could also have them type up a Word document or just different files that you compiled for them to complete research projects. So just different ideas. And then I went through all of that, and like I said before, I do want to emphasize like it's a great tool to use between SPED and between speech and between even specials. If they go do something in STEM, they could take their QR code with them. You could have like a roll. You're in charge of the QR code. Bring it up there. That way the kids can go up there. They can scan it from any iPad. He's got a bunch of iPads up there. They can just grab an iPad, scan, and upload what they're doing in STEM or music, for instance. So you can use it all across the board, which is cool. So getting in, you will have. What did you say?
So we need a bunch of those little temporary tattoos made.
Yeah, you could do that, I guess. That would be a good option. So, for the kids, it's kind of similarly set up. But what you do, if you want to control it, or if they do, you press the button like that. So, I mean, it's so easy for them to do. They just press the button, and if pictures, kindergarten could do this. Okay, if you want to roll a video, I mean, the pictures are pretty self-explanatory. So they know, they click on photo. I want to take a picture of my work today. Although that won't work here because we don't have a camera. Yeah. So let's say drawing, for instance. Upload a drawing. Draw. That's good. Maybe you could do guess this picture. What's that called? Pictionary. So then yeah, absolutely. You can teach all kinds of skills. So then they know how to find their name. They can find their name, upload it. And then if they want to type anything in, they can type it in with a comment or, there you go. Well done, Charlie Brown.
And that goes, and that's sent to who?
That's just sent to Charlie Brown's parents.
Okay. Do you ever have a case where someone takes a picture of their work and clicks the wrong name and sends it to the wrong parents?
I haven't because it's on my phone and I'm like right there next to them. No, that's not it. But they're pretty
They do
good.
need to go find their name.
Right. They do have to scroll down, but you can have them change their icons. So they're like, oh, I'm the snake. So as long as, I mean, they're pretty good with knowing their names. But even if
See their picture and their real name? Can you, for their,
I don't think so.
that's
You can use their real name. I
So
use
in
their
your
real
class, do
name.
you have your real names?
Uh-huh.
So that's just set up for us?
Yeah, this is just set up for you guys. Because remember, I was supposed to have you guys take your own. Yeah, there was that. So you can have more than one class too. But this is mine. So I took a picture of the homework. So it says we did our missions. We took a picture of our missions.
Parents gotta love that.
I mean, I would
as a parent, I get almost nothing from my
We
kids'
have
school. I get like I look at backpacks
I have
to see
Facebook,
them
like
in
they
their
have a
classroom
Facebook
working.
profile, but I have to like go onto my Facebook, and then you know what happens when you get onto Facebook, like you just get distracted with all the other things on Facebook. So
Right.
like I would love to just have this because number one, I get instant notification
Right.
that something's happening. Number two, I don't have to worry about like getting distracted with the rest of the world of Facebook, so I can just send this to the backpackers. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like I've heard about this.
And with Facebook, I mean, if you had a classroom Facebook page, that's great, but you can't really just send it to one person.
Exactly.
So I can't just take a picture of your one kid and be
Right.
creepy to put that on Facebook.
Right.
And here you're sending the picture of that one kid to their parents.
It's
So
a
how
lot
do
like
you send to
cluster. That's
all?
what I was.
Is there a place?
You just click at the top. It says everyone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like we came up with our class mission. I actually didn't. I should have, but maybe I'll do that tonight. I could take a picture of my classroom mission and just say, hey, here's a reminder of what we're focusing on at school, and this is how we want to live. And like we kept our missions here that they wrote. That's why they got to take a picture of their classroom mission. But I mean, just think about the excitement. Like you're doing a presentation, something that they work so hard on at home. You can videotape them giving the presentation, and their kids get to see how they do. You can also have other kids, if there's a rubric set up, you can have other kids like grade them based off the rubric. I mean, just think of all the ideas you could do with this app, and tell parents about it right off the bat.
Cool.
It's pretty cool.
How long have you been using it?
I just started this year.
So this whole year you've been using it?
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't use it as much as I'd like to because again,
You only have one.
I only have one. Yeah. So that makes it kind of challenging.
Working on it.
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Weinhold, we're working on it. Trying to
Yeah.
start, yeah.
Yeah. I think I covered everything. Does anyone have any other questions? No, I hope
Do you send it like sporadically or is it pretty consistent?
It's hit or miss. Sometimes if I'm like remembering, oh yeah, I should take a picture of that on SeeSaw. It's like every day, but then sometimes I forget and I'm like, oh, I probably should have put that on SeeSaw, type thing. So.
Can parents contact you through there even if you've not sent anything?
I don't know.
Because I
I
know
don't
like
think
parents
they've
can do
tried.
like the dojo, and that
Right.
can get like, hey, stop talking to me about that at 9:30 at night.
Yeah, that's the same with mine too.
So, but you've never had parents contact you through it.
I've just had them comment on their feed, and really, I don't think they're trying to ask questions. I think they just more appreciate the fact that you are showing them what they're doing and you're keeping track of their progress, and they're able to see while they're at work. They can keep tabs on them at school. Know they're still alive.
Yeah, they could ask
great
those
to help
questions
other
on
parents
there, right? They could be a nosy busybody, right, and ask questions to you.
I suppose they could. I'm not.
Like if they're responding to something, they might just ask
Yeah.
10 questions or.
They could. I think that would be kind of a lot of work on their part.
You
But
haven't had that happen then?
no. They usually just say, "Oh, this is really cool. Thanks for sharing," or "Oh, I'm so proud of this or him for doing that." So I don't typically get a lot of questions. I mean, you might get a question on, oh, like a homework assignment. Are we supposed to do this? You just tell them, yeah, go ahead or whatever. And you don't have to respond right away. I mean, especially when you're at home, if they have those questions, you can always wait till the next day to respond.
Yeah.
Cool.
Not necessarily. So, any questions?
Anybody gonna try it out now?
Do you feel like it takes a lot of time? A lot of your time? No.
Well,
I
when
just think about how busy I already am, and I
know it
this
only
would
takes
like
a minute.
totally take a lot of my time away. Like I would not. It would make me more efficient because I could put a note in SeeSaw and be like, hey, I'm sending home a notice of action today,
exactly.
and I need you to sign it and send it back, and it goes straight to their phone versus me leaving a voice like I don't really check my voicemail.
Exactly.
Because I just called the person.
It helps.
Like, I don't really.
It helps so much with accountability as well.
Yeah, so I mean that would be so much easier than me having to like I gotta call the parent again, or I've got to send another letter home or whatever. Like I gotta go run upstairs to Megan's room in Green Hallway, which is all the way down at the other end from mine, and like deliver this. Like this would be so much easier.
Absolutely.
For you, I could see like videoing maybe what you're doing with that kiddo and saying, see, here are some things you can practice at home this weekend or
even
at night.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is really what we're doing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Don't worry about it, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
maybe
think
just give her like a video.
Yeah, I feel like every parents are so confused about like what math looks like now and what, you know what I mean, like all of those things, and that could totally make it.
and I for
I mean, it's just more strategies to keep in your tool belt.
Right.
I think what you can do, I'm not quite sure how to link it. I'll have to see, but I was kind of playing around with the whole linking it to like being a co-teacher, and I did see that you do have that ability to link. I just have not done that yet.
And I love it, like, because I struggle, I know I've talked to Rob and Leslie and Claire about this, like, feeling like I wish I knew more about what's going on in the classroom so I could focus my language therapy more on stuff that's actually like relevant to the kids' day and what they're learning in the classroom, and I can support them with their vocabulary or their sentence structure or whatever, rather than some language worksheet that has nothing to do with what they're learning.
Right.
So this could really help me be aware, because trying to reach out to 60 different teachers to figure out like what each individual teacher is doing is a little bit overwhelming.
Absolutely.
So that would be awesome.
Well, good. I'm glad that
Thank
you. I hope you find SeeSaw to be all that I think it's cracked up to be.